Hey guys, it's me, Helena. Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to talk to you guys today about astrocartography and my personal experience living on this amazing Venus IC line and what I'm looking forward to about moving to my Mercury IC line. So without further ado, let's get started. Before I do, just want to make a quick shameless plug. I do offer astrogeography readings, as well as if you have a question, a specific question that you'd like, a very simple, straightforward, want to ask about your map or your natal chart or zodiacal releasing, you can ask me a question on Hey Hero and I will send you a personalized video message answering your question. I'll include all those links down below. So I've been living on my Venus IC line for the last 4 years. And I am leaving this line. 4 years ago, I left my Mercury descendant line and I moved to a Venus IC line here in France. And actually this line goes right through Strasbourg for me, which is where I lived for 2 years. And it was the shift in energy was so different from what I had experienced before. Mercury is fast in energy. Mercury is the winged messenger. It's the communicator, the speaker, the writer, the researcher. It's really great for any kind of research or study. Mercury lines are wonderful for communicating ideas, especially if you have a well-placed Mercury in your chart. It's, really important to look at your natal chart and see, are those planets natally in your chart nicely configured? Are they at home in its sign? Are they exalted? Are they in its fall? There are different things to consider when looking at an astrocartography map. But the energy is significantly different from a Venus line. Mercury is fast. Mercury is really, really speedy in energy. It's the winged messenger. Venus, however, is not fast. Venus is leisure. It is pleasure. It is enjoying the simple things in life. Venus and Taurus energy in general, which I'm a Taurus sun, Venus symbolizes the simple joys of life, of enjoying the simple pleasures. Venus energy in general is very good at being very connected with the senses, with the body, with touch, with pleasure, with senses, all of those things, and appreciating it and appreciating the physical earthly realms of the world, and noticing the simple joys. And so now I want to talk about Venus IC and what you can specifically expect when you move to a Venus IC line. Personally, it's one of the best lines you can move to in astrocartography. It is an amazing line to retire, have children, have a family, take care of the home, be a homemaker. The IC represents the home and family. It also represents the past and traditions. So really taking care of the home, taking care of your garden, gardening, cooking, interior design, any kind of those things that you do at home is really nice. Venus IC line also has an energy of being around pleasurable environments, like meeting people that are very pleasurable, nice conversations, nothing too deep, nothing heavy, like Scorpio or Mars, right? It's very light, easygoing connections that you make with people on a Venus IC line. And it's all about being in a pleasant environment. So connecting with nature, connecting with your creative self. Venus is very artistic, very creative and visual in nature. It's the arts, it's the design of things. And so personally, my experience moving to a Venus IC line was that. On this line, when I moved to Strasbourg, I started doing a lot of photography of different types of photography. I was playing with 365-day challenges and I was writing more poetry and I was writing short creative stories in my journals when I moved here. And then, I started doing YouTube. It was here on this Venus IC line that I started making YouTube videos. I started making creative short films talking about very Venusian things, simple joys, slow living, pleasure, enjoyment, connection with the senses. That is all Venus. It's kind of wild to me because I learned astrocartography after I experienced this energy of this line, you know, looking back at my life, all of the travels I'd been on, all the places I'd seen and lived in the world, I discovered astrocartography after that. So my experience it's not colored by expectation, right? I already experienced that energy and those events, and I'm now looking at it and like, whoa, that is so on point. If you want to retire, one of the best lines is Venus on the IC. I cannot recommend this line enough. You will have such a pleasant, easygoing energy here. But you always have to take into consideration the other things, you know, your natal chart. Like, is your natal Venus happy in your chart? Is it in its domicile? Is it in its fall? Is it exalted, right? There are other things to consider, the sect of your chart, the aspects, the hard aspects, if there are any. So there are other things to consider. I wouldn't recommend Venus lines to everyone, right? That's so general. I have to look at the natal chart to understand. But, you know, for me, Venus is nicely placed. There are no hard aspects. So I'm kind of sad leaving this line because this was a place that I felt such peace. I felt such contentment and pleasure and enjoyment and deep mindfulness and presence on this line because I am so connected with my senses. The Venusian energy just amplified that for me. This was the past 4 years was a time of really slowing down and enjoying my life and being creative, being an artist, and taking it easy. No pressure to do a lot of things. I'm just very taking it easy. But now I want to talk about where I'm moving next. I'm moving to a Mercury IC line. Mercury's well placed in my chart. I have it, you know, in its domicile in Gemini, so Mercury is a good line for me in general. But I will say that Mercury is very different from Venus. Mercury is the winged messenger. It's very quick, it's very speedy. It's fast. It's not Venusian. It's not slow like Venus is. You know, it's the winged messenger. So communication, speaking, thinking, writing. It's great for subconscious work, actually, and meditation work, specifically Mercury on the IC. The IC, again, has to do with the past. I've noticed for so many of my astrogeography clients in our readings together that a lot of people feel ancestral connection with Mercury IC lines, either their family or like generations previously before them. There's an ancestral lineage that is often connected to the Mercury IC line. Maybe it's past life related. I don't know. I'm not an expert in that, but the IC does represent the past and traditions. Mercury is study and research and thinking. Mercury on the IC is also great for just subconscious work and healing and doing the subconscious neurological things, like talking about that, thinking about that, doing the work on that. Mercury IC lines are very busy. They're busy in the home, like the home life will be busy. A lot going on, you know, the people you meet, the environment you're in, going out and about in town, having errands, having lots of projects, doing lots of things. That's very mercurial. On the IC, it's about the home. So I do expect me to continue working from home, but I expect my home life to be much busier than what it was like on a Venus IC line. Venus being very pleasurable and like leisure and taking it slow. Mercury is the opposite of that. Some predictions that I might have for what I may be experiencing on this Mercury IC line, and we'll see if I'm right, we'll see if I'm wrong. I'm gonna record this and share it with you in real time to see if it actually unfolds, but I expect myself and my home life and my energy to feel a lot faster. I'm expecting myself to be much more verbal and mental in quickness and thought. And I'm also just expecting more focus on ideas, less so artistic creations, less visual art through my videos possibly, and much more of a focus on writing and communicating ideas. I think that's gonna be more of a focus, and I also think my life is just gonna get a lot busier and I'm gonna be a lot faster than I am living on a Venus line. And I just think the past will come up for me there. Thinking about the past will come up for me there. Thinking about healing my ancestral connection with my family. I also have a Chiron line fairly close to that Mercury line. So I do expect a lot of what I'm going to be experiencing in Bayonne in France to be this connection of healing work, healing the self, healing the relationships in the past in my life, because it is a Mercury descendant line with relationships, but then the combination of Mercury on the IC of thinking, studying, research, and talking about that healing that I'm going through. So that's just kind of what I'm expecting to transpire moving to my Mercury IC line. It's kind of wild how you can take a plane and you can travel, and the minute you cross a line, you can feel the energy of that line. You know, it doesn't mean events will be caused or things will manifest right away physically when you go to a planetary line, but it is an energy. It is more of an energetics thing. And so, I'm curious to know when I start driving in that direction towards that Mercury line, like, how is the energy gonna shift for me? We'll see. I highly recommend Venus IC lines. If you have not lived on one yet, highly recommend checking them out. IC lines in general are wonderful for your private and personal life, your home life, feeling good personally, especially if you have a nicely placed Venus line or a Venus in your natal chart, if you have that nicely placed. Yeah. That's it. I just wanted to share with you my experience. If you like this video, please feel free to give this a thumbs up. It helps to support my channel. You can head over to my second channel, Helena Woods, which is my name. I make more creative Venusian IC inspired videos there. And if you want to get a reading, feel free to check me out down below. I have some blog posts on astrocartography, so if you want to read more about astrocartography, where to find, your love line, where to find love for astrocartography, or just in general want to learn more about it, I'll include my blog post down below, free content I made for you. That's it from me. I will see you next here on the channel on my Mercury line. Have a magical, beautiful day, and I will see you next time here on the channel. Bye.